Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of BOSScast. It is Sunday, April 24th, 2016. I'm the Duke, and I'm joined by my real-life bro,
Lone Wolf 23.
Lone Wolf 23. You have to say the numbers every time you say. So when I see him in real life, I say, hello, Lone Wolf 23. I don't even use his real name. So anyway, we're gonna rock right into this. This could be a short podcast, but every time I say that, we end up going for 30 minutes plus. So we'll see what we do today. Maybe we'll only be like 10 or 15 minutes. But of course, I'm already rambling. So yeah, we'll see. But how's it going, Lone Wolf?
It's going well.
Doing anything big in Dungeon Boss in the past week? Any
Oh
significant
man,
roster changes for you?
not really anything like any kind of roster changes per se. I will say that I got I finished the tower for the second time in my dungeon boss career.
I really need to get sound effects, like live sound effects, for my podcasts, so I can just
Total number of two times that I've fully completed the tower.
hit the applause sign right now. So, but that's good
Yeah,
though. You're learning. You're moving forward. That's what you got to
yeah.
do,
I mean, the more my roster fills out a little bit, the
right?
more the easier it has become.
Yeah.
I
If
will say that
nothing,
that time was kind of a gimme though because there was only really like two floors that were just like, oh, what am I gonna do? Which those were like 10 and 11, obviously, but yeah, it made it kind of tricky. But I think I only had five left total,
well, that's not bad.
so um, but I didn't have to. I got to you know, the big boss and ran through him one time. So
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it really is. Roster size makes a massive difference because if nothing else, you get some more fodder for the tower, which makes a huge difference. Getting to burn some abilities without taking any significant hits outside of losing someone, which can be significant if you do that too much, obviously. So that's cool. That's cool. So no upgrades or ascensions to
as
speak
far
of.
as like roster, yeah, I ascended Sifu
Oh, cool.
for the first time,
So you got
so
his
I have
heal.
his heal now.
Good, good, good. It's a good heal.
Um, uh, besides that, I don't think I've really. It's been kind of a slow week for me, so
No, that's fine. My week
um,
was really busy outside the game, so I didn't
right.
get quite as much done as I wanted to. We did have that 24 hours of double tokens, which I wish would have been 2 days, and I thought was 2 days because I wasn't paying
Mhm.
attention. Uh, but that was cool. So I actually got a couple of upgrades in. Believe I got. Did I get nitpicked to 5 stars? I may have said that last week though. So I did something. Someone did something. I know that. The
Awesome.
the yeah, I know it's very helpful. The ascension that I can remember, or well, actually, I think it happened today or last night. I got Echo up to his final ascension, so I got intensify shock, which I don't use Echo that
Mhm.
much outside of the tower, but that is helpful in the tower. So um, actually got me finished with a floor faster than I expected because I'm like, oh, there's intensify shock. Let's see what this does. Oh, it killed him. Okay, that'll work. So that's useful. It's a really strong attack in and of itself, and then obviously if they're shocked, it does 3 times the damage. So it can do
Oh,
some
someone that
pretty
you
serious
love.
damage.
I actually ascended her also.
Oh, Yasmin, I'm gonna say.
Yes, that's the one. You love her so much.
Well, she's better now. She's better. I
Oh,
mean, they improved her, so she's better. She's still not my
I got
most favorite.
her for her last ascension. So
I'd still, well, and that's really good. It's just you don't get to use it that much. I think that's the biggest
can you get
problem.
to it?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a big problem with a lot of heroes is that their final ascension, they get a really cool ability, but you can really only use it in campaign or deep in the tower because you just in PvP it doesn't go that long, or at least before the latest
Right
hero.
now,
At least before Kai Makani matches didn't go that long, but they could, as more people get him, either people get some VIP spins from a purchase or they have
by the way, you're
VIP.
doing all the the new. You're doing the names of people. I'm not even going. I'm just going to say, yeah, the new guy,
I just,
and I'll let you pronounce the names of stuff because I would have went totally opposite on like
oh,
that whole name.
I'm sorry. Well, I just,
It would have sounded something like Mankini or something like that. So
yeah, that's,
good job on the name.
I'm really glad that didn't happen, except it just did. So anyway, Kai Makani. I've heard a lot of. I mean, I've watched wrestling for years, and so I've heard all kinds of island type names. So
Sure.
anyway, but he's interesting. He definitely on defense will create some interesting scenarios because now you can't do that giant AoE bomb, which I know two guys who like to do that at least. And so with
These
his
guys.
these two
Sorry.
guys. I know two guys who like that and they have four thumbs. These two guys. So um but when he's fully ascended, he's fast, and his first ability is Surfs Up. Well, fully ascended Surfs Up 3, which calls in a giant wave that damages all enemies and soaks the enemies, causing any AoE attacks to do 80% less damage for 3 turns.
80%.
Yeah, so you do 20% of your damage. Now, there is, so, everyone's already, there's not everyone, but there's plenty of people who are claiming the sky is falling already. But let's be honest, attack side of PvP was buffed to the hilt by adding silence on the first turn. Period. It was. And then you have Bovis with energy drain, which, you know what? You didn't necessarily bring Bovis for damage before, so you still bring him for energy drain anyway, and that still works against Kai, even though Kai took a turn beforehand. So it doesn't really take Bovis out of the mix necessarily. And Bovis is also nature on water, so that's bonus damage, even though it's 20% or 80% less. But anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is it is a shift, and you do have to reconsider how you do certain things, but it doesn't necessarily destroy everything you've been doing unless you relied solely on your big nuke, a la Lone Wolf and I. So
I saw a few things on the forum, just reading over it pretty quick, and I do kind of agree that 80% is probably a little on the high side.
well,
But that
especially
being
since
said,
he's fast. So
yeah.
yeah,
That being said, that's kind of throw somebody out there in the game that might be just a little too strong.
it
See what
shakes things
the
up.
actual real yes. See what the real players do with him. See how overpowered it actually might be and all that stuff. I mean,
Well,
and
and you
then
get some real
scale back just a little bit. So
you
and it
get
changes the
some
game. So why not
yeah,
every
you
once in a
get
while?
and you get some real results as opposed
Yeah.
to I mean, I've worked in a video game studio. People do things once it goes live that you never even considered. People find obviously ways to break and exploit the game, but
I
then
was about to
people
say
also
exploits and all
figure
that. Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah, exploits.
Yeah.
So
People figure that out, but people also figure out, "Oh, well, this is how you deal with this." And someone like, okay, let's go back to what I know. Smite, right? So,
hmm
everything that uh, can you think of a hero, Lone Wolf, or what are they called? Gods in Smite. Can you think of a god that everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, he's just going to be too powerful. he's going to be able to nuke people from anywhere on the map and just destroy people with one shot. Well, wow, he's just totally breaking the game. Can you think of someone like that who, when he came out, people were like, "Oh, I'm not even going to play him because he sucks so bad." Can you think of someone like that?
Um, I can't think of the name right now, but yeah,
Thor. It was
yeah.
the first biggest example of that. Thor came out, and yeah, he was way strong, and he was probably, and something was changed on him before he went out the door. I know because I was on that end of it, that made him less strong than what he was when people saw him, but didn't necessarily change his damage. And he did so little damage once he went out the door that people saw him as useless, even though he had all this CC. And then they added some, and so later on, he absolutely had to have a buff, and he became one of the strongest characters in the game because of some of the same things people said before he was released. However, when he was released, he wasn't really as strong as people thought. Now, I'm not saying that about Kai, but I will say that there are there are things that people haven't considered with Kai coming into the game yet that next week, 2 weeks from now, people will be like, "Oh yeah, I mean he's strong, he's great, but all he does is add a couple of extra, a, one extra turn. You know, he just makes it where I have to use my four heroes and then use two again after that because I figured out how to deal with them. But that's good. You want people to figure out, like, you want new things added to the game where it shakes things up and it possibly opens opportunities for people that haven't had the best opportunities before. You know what it really opens up an opportunity for is a Zerk buff,
Whoa, hold on now.
because who does Zerk do more damage to? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's casters, isn't it?
Yeah. What is Kai?
He's a fast caster.
Yes, he is. What element is Kai and what element is Zerk, and who gets the advantage?
You know, people are just like, no, no,
No,
don't
don't
buff
do it.
Zerg.
No, you can't
Don't buff
justify it like
Zerg.
this.
I'm just saying, don't buff Zerg. No, no, no. That's the only person we have to pick on right now.
but but like this actually makes, like, just as he is right now, Zerk is actually the perfect counter to Kai.
The
Like
only, I mean, the only thing
without
though
a
is,
buff. He is the perfect counter to Kai. He's single target, so Kai can't
yeah,
debuff him. He does
but
a
you
powered
could.
attack that does double damage to casters. He's nature versus water. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was about to say, I mean, the same thing though. Like, he's also normal. He's in the normal category. So, like, if you're doing it really, Kai's going to get his ability off anyway. And honestly, it's kind of like the same thing with Indigo right now for me. Is if she just gets her ability off and actually silences, which I've missed that three coin flip several times, and it's really annoyed me. But if she actually gets her silence, if she actually silences, she's pretty much done her job.
Well,
So
that's all well and good, but what I'm saying is I can kill Kai
yeah,
straight up, one shot. I think I'm gonna have to
I'm
test
pretty
that
sure it's
theory
just going to
with
be.
Zerk,
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a bunch of
with stinking Zerk.
trying to change it up a little bit and doing more single target stuff, and which
Yeah,
is good. You
yeah,
still might see bonuses.
yeah. It's gonna be
Uh,
more. I don't think this gets Bovis out of the mix at all because energy drain is still one of the most significant, if not the most significant debuff in the game. It's top three to
I
actually pull
think I
someone's
think you
energy
might see
off.
more echoes in attack now also, just because it gets you to your second ability. If you have Kai, if you have somebody that's going to extend the game like he is, then you're going late anyway. So why not get two extra energy? If you're
Yeah,
attacking, why not get
yeah.
two
I
extra
got
energy?
you.
get to that second ability as quick as possible.
Yeah, prevent an energy drain and get to your other abilities as fast as possible. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a really good
I
point.
mean, if you bring melee people, um, is does his is it if somebody melee attacks or if you melee attack? Can you spread it when you melee attack somebody?
Spread what? What are you talking about?
The shock, or is it just when somebody
When someone
attacks you
attacks your
melee?
heroes, yeah, yeah,
Okay, well,
it's a defensive thing.
even so, it's still, I don't know. It's one of those things. The two energy is still a big, huge thing to try to get to the second abilities
Sure.
because most people, when I think of most people, I have Sumi walking across my screen right now, but obviously Sumi, uh, it, only his first ability is an all attack. So, is it technically an AOE?
Yeah, that's what they mean.
Okay,
They, that it's a mixture of terms, but that's what they mean is
okay.
an
So
all attack.
AOE
Yeah,
is just all attack.
yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
what I
so
assume. So because every other attack, there's no other type of attack in the game that you would call AOE that's like splash damage. You know what I mean? There may be one
yep,
other thing that's kind of a splash damage where it hits one person, but typically it hits one perfect person and debuffs everyone else, not it hits one person and damages everyone else. It's if it's if it's an all attack, it is, you know, it hits everybody. Period. Whether you hit the person you're targeting or not. So
yeah. So I mean, getting to his second ability obviously is going to be massive, just because of the fact that, oh, look, I can pretty much one shot anybody I attack now with double chop. So um, there's other people that are obvious, like that also.
yeah, this creates sort of a tit for tat meta though, where so all your you don't bring AOE guys or people that rely on AOE, so you bring more single target guys, and it's Kai goes, and then you have someone who's an answer for their next person, whether it be fast or normal. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you're trying to beat. It's
Well,
essentially you're
you just
beating them to the punch constantly.
yeah,
Is
you
what you
take
have
out the
to do.
scariest.
Yeah,
I mean, if I see a nub in a fight, he's last.
yeah.
That's me.
in most cases
Uh,
that's the play. Yep.
so I mean, I'm taking out if there's a Nimrel, I'm going after her first. If there's a Sumi,
It depends
kind of
on who you
depends
brought.
because Sumi is kind of, if you focus him and don't get him, you're uh, guaranteeing yourself a loss. Um, Especially if it goes 3 turns, because you're done for when
Well,
it
there's
gets that
several ways
spreading
to one
panic.
shot him at the
That's true.
moment. So, um, and they're single target, by the way, so that plays into the Kai meta. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well just be called the Kai meta because he is going to change. But again, only VIP can get it at the moment, so that's a smaller sample size, but it's enough of a sample size of people who really buy into the game or buy over on characters or whatever, quote unquote pay to win, even though it's all just random rolls. So you're just paying
Yeah, there was
for
somebody on the
more random
forums
rolls. So
saying that he had rolled 8 times already and hadn't gotten him yet. So
yeah. So anyway, yeah, he definitely changes things. I think he makes Zerk more viable, which people should really look into. I'm going to try it tonight
I laugh
after
just
we're
because I
done.
know the the story of Zerk. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's completely dumb to consider that he would be great, but he should be. Like like what's on paper says that Zerk should utterly destroy Kai. Now will it? We'll see. So Zerk and Jabber, Clinch Jaw, may both be good picks for dealing with Kai.
I
So
actually dislike Jabber more than um, Zerk. So
yeah,
that's just me personally.
I like. Yeah, I know why you would say that, but we'll move on to something else. So that's how PvP is probably changing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And before you're and just putting it out there before you say the sky is falling, yes, it's frustrating for everything to change, but everything changed like a month ago with adding silence to to two fast heroes. So adjust. It's that's how this works. So when new things are added to the game, you want new things added to the game. So let's not fully jump on the the hate train for something being changed or something being added to the game. You want new mechanics. So speaking of new mechanics or new things added to the game, it looks like we're getting a new light hero soon that holds a staff and she looks really
Spoilers.
cool. So so that's pretty neat. We don't know who she is yet, but she was on the art at PAX East. So if you I'm not even going to link that. You can scour the forums and find it, but there's a
That's right. We don't do spoilers here.
sure we do. But anyway, she was on the PAX East art as well as the um, as well as it, like a lot of heroes that appear early on or before they're actually released. Uh, she's shown up in the background of tower art for someone, so that's pretty cool. But she looks neat, so we'll see how she plays. Apparently, she's an elf rogue, is what people are saying, but I don't know. I don't know if it's
Hey,
what. I don't know if that means she's
Dagrin.
fast or not. What?
Dagrin with Kai.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all of these, all of
It's the
the
caster
energy.
lineup
Oh
with
yeah.
Dagrin.
Oh wow. That puts him on defense, which you never see. That's an interesting thought
Straight caster lineup with
with
Dagrin in there.
Dagrin. Yeah. Hmm. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's a neat thought. So you could do Kai, man. You could do something nasty. You could go Kai, Ice Bloom, and then who would be your? I don't know who you may want someone that's a little beefier. Oh, I know who. My favorite character. You would obviously
Don't
want
say
a
it.
different element
Don't say it.
because people are going to bring nature to deal with all that water you're dealing with. So
No.
who else but the single target champion of the game, Ignis? I said it. He's my favorite. He
I
literally
can tell.
is my favorite character in the game, and I'm not trolling because his damage is so off the charts, and also he does energy drain. So yeah, and also except for Wall of Fire, everything else he does is single target. So he's actually maybe a decent
And his
counter.
basics, if somebody is on fire, are
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. Passive pyromaniac is just stupid good.
So
It's
gross.
so good. I love him. I love him. So and he is a master of PVE, but I just look for more and more opportunities to use him in PvP because he's just that fun. He's definitely the one of the characters I
Well,
bring.
you know what this does. This kind of takes out the. They added the revenge to slows to be able
Right.
to slow, but now they just threw a caster in the mix that has casters do boosted damage to slow targets.
Well, and you saw what one of his abilities does, right? He has an
Uh-uh.
ability that where is it? 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 Call of the Deep. All allies gain 100% chance to revenge any attack for one turn and boost defense for a team for 3 turns.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
So he makes
I played
everyone
with him. I saw that
tankier.
ability. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes everyone tankier for 3 turns and gives them one
So he
shot
basically just
at
said,
revenge.
"You slow people thought you were going to revenge me, but no, I'm gonna make it where my whole team's going to revenge y'all."
Right. Yeah. So again, that makes defense even. I mean, that's his second ability, and who knows how long. Let's see, what's the does it tell us? We don't know what the cooldown is on it, or
Yeah, but if
how
if
long
if you
it
put him in
takes.
defense though,
Oh yeah, that's right. In defense, he's got it.
I
So
mean,
that's right.
you're
That's right.
this dude is all about
Yeah,
defense. He's not.
he's the master of defense. You're right.
So yeah.
He's the new Black Diamond.
Ugh.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
I like him with Ignis, and then you saying maybe Ice Bloom
Yeah, I think Ice
and
Bloom would be
Dagram.
good because she gets the freeze off and really puts a hurting on him. Plus,
It could
plus
be
the
pretty
buff from
sketchy.
Dagrin. So could be fun. Could be
Yeah,
fun.
that's a good mix.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Someone would see that and be like, whatever, and then they come into it, they'd be like, oh, and they may still beat it, but they'd be like, huh, that's maybe viable with a little tweak here and there.
yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, I've talked about everything I want to talk about. It was mainly about Kai this week, and
Oh yeah.
there were no real huge events besides Kai being released. There was double tokens, but that was only for a day, unfortunately.
Which is that's good for like a new character release. You don't need like this massive event
Yeah, I thought it was
weekend if you
interesting how
have a character release.
they
So
tapered off events, and that may have had more to do with them going to PAX.
I was just about to say that. I was like also they were at PAX.
Yeah,
So
you don't want a lot of stuff that, hey, this event's not working. You don't want
yeah, I was about
people
to
to
say
have to deal with
you
it.
don't want to add a bunch of stuff that could possibly break your game when you probably have, you know, several people at PAX.
Yeah. Well, they had a
So
huge. It looked like they had a pretty significant setup, and they were giving away all kinds of stuff, iPad Minis, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they were
man,
rocking it out.
they have to be so far away from me.
I know. Boston's a pretty neat city too. I would like to. I
Let's go to
haven't
PAX
yet.
Atlanta.
I know. I don't know why there's, or even one in Florida would be fine. Just something in the southeast. The southeast gets the raw end of the deal for everything, except next year because we get freaking WrestleMania. So
So,
I'm pretty excited
so
about that. That doesn't really have anything to do with gaming, though, unless you
gaming,
consider
gaming wrestling
Xavier
connection.
Woods, who is rocking it with Up Up Down Down, his own gaming channel, and yeah, and then yeah, of course, the Gaming Wrestling Connection, which is where you're hearing this live. It's live for us, not for you, but still,
Well, technically,
BOSScast
it's live for
right
them
here.
because they're hearing it right now as we say it because they're pressing play on the video.
Fair enough. So I guess it is
So
live for you, listener at home.
yeah, let's see if we
And
can
by the
ramble
way,
on and
thanks
make
so much
this
for
last
listening.
like 15, 20 more minutes.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep rambling. Thanks so much for listening. And if you have any comments for us, if you want to tell us how dumb we sound or whatever, that's totally cool. We'll take any feedback. You may not want to put that on the forums though, because you might get banned or something. Because they like for people to stay civil there. But you can be as uncivil as you want in our YouTube comments or on SoundCloud. But no matter what, we'll take any feedback.
We kind of expect it, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's the internet. And that's not a good excuse, but that's the excuse everyone gives. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna be offended. So any feedback you have, thank you. And once again, our good friend Haxus Bloodbane gave us just a huge amount of feedback on the last episode, and thank you for that. I haven't actually read through it. I hit up the thread right before I hit record and saw the several things. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. He or she, Haxus said something about Yokozuna being problematic. So anyway, and now there's a car alarm going off, which you can probably hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. I'm the Duke. Later.
I'm Lone Wolf 23. I don't have a signature sign off, so bye.